What's up, world? Karmicdez here, back on another episode of Karmic Fitness. This won't be a long one, or as long, because I'm not going to be doing a particular exercise today. We're going to be jumping down more into the breakdown parts of it, in which we discuss more of the biological processes going on inside your body. What's the word I'm looking for? I almost had it. It was right there. Sorry, y'all. That go along with your fitness, right? The words they trip me up sometimes. So a lot of times when we're focusing on our fitness, we forget about the little things, like our cells, right? The cells are the smallest part of our body that also give us our energy and to keep everything going and organized, beyond the brain, of course. So we're going to take a look at the cell today. And what is the cell? Again, it's the smallest part of your body. The average person is going to have about 37 trillion cells, and each one of these cells is like an energy factory for your body. They have inside of them what's called mitochondria, and that's what's actually giving you your energy. And the more you get fit, you get more energy you gain towards your fitness, the more of these cells and the more mitochondria you produce, and that's where you get that boost of energy, that dopamine, that fitness, that burst of fitness, that development of fitness. That's where that comes from. You're boosting up the mitochondrial cells, those power cells in your body, right? Now, the cell, it does have a structure itself, a lot like your body, right? You have skin. Your cell has a membrane, which allows things to come in and out selectively. And that membrane is actually made out of fats. So when you eat, your processed foods, your fried chicken and fried fish, you eat your saturated fats, you eat those things, that fat does get transferred. I don't want to say transferred. That's the wrong word. But those fats do get used by your body in order to replenish the fat lining around the membrane for your cells. The excess fat, of course, we don't break down and use for ourselves, and it becomes stored later on, energy breakdown. We talked about the mitochondria. It's either the power plants of the cell. They take your food, they take oxygen, and that's what's giving you your energy. So your body, inside the mitochondria, your body is having little tiny nuclear explosions, and your body is harnessing those explosions, a lot like a combustion chamber for your gas whenever you're driving your car. Now, inside of each cell, there's a nucleus, and the nucleus is the DNA forming region of the cell. And in this DNA forming region, we're going to be able to affect this by what we eat, what we drink, and how fit we are. These DNA chains that go out, there are certain biological markers along these DNA chains that activate when certain criteria are met inside of yourself. So you may have been, again, certain criteria, certain age markers. It's like you can't activate being 6'8" now if you're not 6'8", right? If you're past that threshold. But there's some things that you can activate. You can activate muscle tone. You can activate neuroplasticity. There are more internal things as you get older that you can activate as opposed to the external things, right? And that's what we want to focus on as we get older with the Karmic Fitness idea here. Is we want to be, your body is going to break down. There's really no way around it. There's physics, there's entropy, time, all of that affects that. But there's something inside of you that that energy that keeps you going, that keeps you walking around the neighborhood when you're 85 years old, right? That's what we're focusing on. That's what we're building. And that's what we're looking at the cell today at, right? So let's see, looking at the notes here. Now, exercise, okay? So when you're doing your strength training, you're also developing stronger, more resilient cells, especially in the areas that contract and contract and I guess contract and release. I believe that's it. Yeah, it sounds right. I could be wrong. When you contract and release, you're using that ATP, that energy. It's called ATP. That's jargon slip there. But yeah, you're releasing that energy that you had stored in your cells to produce those motions, and really any motion in your body, right? And when you're working on your cardio, you're developing better oxygen delivery to your system. You're being able to bring in more air to your lungs, and then you're bringing in more air to your lungs. Again, you're able to bring more oxygen to your body in the spurts that you're bringing them in, right? As opposed to, so I wouldn't have to take as deep breaths running, let's say, a quarter mile as someone who has less fitness than I do for the same, body scaling, that is. Now, whatever you eat really is going to, again, be fuel for the cell. But the problem that most people run into is we kind of overeat, particularly in foods that break down into starches, salts, and fats, right? And those things get stored in our body pretty easily. So that's where, again, the fitness comes in. And I said it before, as long as you're burning those things off, for the most part, you're going to be good, right? Barring any unknown health diagnoses that we aren't aware of, right? Let's get it. Also, a lot of people drink alkaline water. I guess, is there acid water, acidic water? I don't know. All kind of waters now, purified waters, right? Now your cell is trying to maintain a pH balance of 7.4. So when we take in these drinks, water, juices, sodas, those things do alter our internal acidity pH balance, right? But our body also has a way to regulate those things. So a lot of people, get heartburn. Boom, there you go. You got an acid reflux. Of course, the acid. Your body's trying to regulate that acid down. It's got to get that acid out to acidity. So your cells do kind of like that alkaline base, or more alkaline base than acidity, right? I mean, slightly acidic, but not too acidic. And DNA is slightly acidic. Then of course we have your vitamins and minerals, which are essentially your proteins. And those things activate and deactivate certain, you would call them enzymes or instructions inside of your cells that of course again correlate to your fitness. Oh my goodness. Bad stress? Do we want to talk about stress? Y'all want to talk about stress? Y'all want to do it on this episode or the next episode? You know what? We're going to do it on the next episode. And while we're there, let's talk about good stress and bad stress. So in the comments, if you'd like to share what you, I don't want to phrase this because my first time kind of asking y'all to read anything in the comments. So in the comments, yeah, just share some stressful moments, whether it's good stress or bad stress. Just share those moments, and we'll bring those up on the next, I guess, breakdown episode. Because the next episode after this, I believe I got to get back to the stretching. So we'll definitely get back to those, and we'll bring that as a topic. But I'll definitely address your comments in the next episode. That's for sure. Recovery, aging. So as you age, your cellular number and cellular data do decline. Your cellular quality also declines. The cell membrane is not as strong, doesn't retain as much information, doesn't retain as much water. The wall is not as what's what I'm looking for, permeable as it used to be. So your cells age just like you age, and you age because your cells age, right? It's all circular, right? So what we can do to decrease that again is, or I don't want to say decrease it, to kind of slow that again, to slow that down is, again, fitness. That's why, the name is Karmic Fitness, because, Karmicdez and whatnot. But I think it all kind of lines up, right? We're going to be working on your spirit, your mental, and your physical at the same time. So it all comes together with the Karmic Fitness, right? So, definitely, be mindful of what you take in your body, because the smallest part of you, your cells, will be affected. And if your cells are affected, then you'll be affected. And, we know this when it comes to colds and flus and things of that nature. But it seems when it comes to our own diets and fitnesses, sometimes we kind of let that slack. If we're not, super sports heads, or, gym bros, gym sisters, and, all of that. Again, you can be a regular person at home, sitting on your couch, or watching TV, and have the urge to go run, and just be mindful of yourself. Your cells. Oh yeah. So that's all I have here. Probably go more in depth into the cell, because I have a lot of notes here. I'm trying to work on prepared episodes for y'all. This is my first time doing a breakdown for the Karmic Fitness channel. So it will get better. We'll be more smooth. We'll be more streamlined, more informative. Maybe get pop-ups and shit, you know what I'm saying? But thank y'all for joining me. Thank y'all for being part of the fitness journey. Thank y'all for liking, comment, whatever you do with the channel and whatnot. Also, if you've started your own journey, I see some of y'all out there starting to get back at it. Yeah, I love it. If you started, share when you started, why you started in the comments. And let's link up. Let's go to the park. Let's get some running or something. Push-ups. But yeah, again, Karmicdez, I'm out. Dominate your day. And I'm going to come up with one for the Karmic Fitness channel. I've got to come up with one.